Hello, good evening, Rainbow Landers, or good morning. Welcome to the 11th episode of the Ultraviolet Grasslands. I'm your host and dungeon master, Eric. I'm EricVulgaris, pronouns here they. And let's get ready to rumble. Adam, how are you doing?
I am doing pretty good. I'm continuing to tear apart and regenerate my modular. Here, if this isn't gonna make people too sick, check this beast out.
Ooh.
That's what I'm building right now.
You should just put your camera there and have your voice be able to be modulated through it. So all we do is just see the synth voice lines go through, and you're just a robot.
I can do that.
I know. It'd be awesome. I know you would. That's why I suggested it. No, just
got another one over, and then here's my semi. Yeah. So I'm trying to build the right thing. So if I get distracted and you hear some clicks in the background, it's just my screwdriver. Ignore me entirely. Not like Sage, who can't make it to go play, and so is being really sad about all the other conversation. Right, Sage?
Yeah. I'm Sage Latora. He, they pronouns. I can't go to go play, which is really sad because now everybody's planning all these word games. But I am going to Gen Con, which is super exciting. And I'll probably play some of those same games, I would guess. Other than that, I'm doing game design stuff and working and all that. And super excited to play tonight with my new character who I love. How about you, Grant?
Hey everybody, my name's Grant Ellis. I'm the Twitch producer for WebDM's Twitch channel and the convention director of Gex Convention in Northern Virginia. Coming off a very successful con season and getting hyped and amped for many more, I'll be playing Umberta Mechanizio, who uses she, her pronouns, and I use he, they pronouns. Now let's throw it back to Eric so we can get in deep and rock and roll here in the Ultraviolet Grassland.
Right. Grant, I did not know that. I'm sorry. My overlays still say he, him. I will fix that in the break. I'm sorry about that, buddy.
It's okay.
Okay. So where we last left our team, let's go with the sort of recap here. The riddle of the Serpent Stone was not necessarily unlocked, but more just blasted through by Fermi. They just kind of blasted apart the jade stones that broke the seal of the spirit serpent that was trapped inside. And as a gift for its liberation, it granted each person a vision of the cosmos. And as the mathematical equations revealed themselves and the celestial coincidences coincided, each person gained a spell of some kind. And we're using the Mazerat spell system, so they're all random and wild. And it's super awesome. So good job there, Fermi. You have become a well-liked friend of the group. Furthermore, to avoid the rumbling of their bellies, the party hopped into bubbles and basically flew across the silver and white ocean of grass. What did you lose along the way, Fermi?
We almost lost his pants, I believe.
Yeah, almost. I almost lost my pants. Instead, I lost something that was really with the void egg.
Yes, the void egg. Right.
Yeah.
So the party hop, skipped, and jumped in their bubbles from the Serpent Stones all the way back to the Grass Colossus, where they bartered with a strange and enfeebling revenge-loving, maybe, warlock named Yiza. And then lastly, they met a female-presenting wicker golem who was gazing longingly at two golems. The reason for that was the party is trying to buy a new wagon. Right? Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we're going to pick up, right?
New all sorts of transportation is kind of
right.
Yeah, we right now we're just us. It doesn't carry much sacks.
Because I'm not really. I mean, I don't know if if anybody missed the last couple of sessions. I'm not actually of the Vesh family. It's just kind of a deep undercover kind of thing. So I wasn't really related to the donkey, unfortunately. But they came through the deep undercover training with me, and so they wouldn't give anything away. So as we were losing our deep undercover, I had to pass them off down a few sessions ago. So
yeah, well,
yeah. All part of the plan, though.
Yeah. Can you remind everybody what your backgrounds are? Because you are a person of many different colors.
Yeah. So the deep undergrounds, I was going to be a black gold industrialist, and so that was the cover. I have lots of paperwork that's forged several times about that. And then I revealed that I was a freehold archaeologist so that we could go look for that serpent's eye which was only part of my plan, because I also have a Greenlander nomad herdsman background. There's just a piece of that kind of stuff, and then somewhere deep in my psyche, past all of those backgrounds that are my undercover backgrounds, I have information about the Forgotten Times, I believe, but I've been lost so far in my undercover backgrounds that I can't
You're just
find
in too
them.
deep.
That's right.
Awesome. Okay, so the scene that we zoom in on, you are all among the many different yurts and tents, all sort of circumscribed around one of the largest figures you have ever seen, a gigantic wicker man, the Grass Colossus. None of you have been able to get close to it. Sort of the closest ring to the Grass Colossus is kept as the sort of high elite of the Lime Nomads who control this area. So you're sort of all around the different areas. Oh, Adam, thank you. Or it's a gift. Yes, Grant, thank you. Right, so around this area, you are all sort of with the merchants in the mercantile section here. As you can imagine, sort of the spokes pulling off this area are sort of different areas for mercantilism, for hospitality, for drinking, for partying, for gambling. We don't even know the specifics just yet. But anyways, you all were kind of dealing with this wicker golem who sort of runs this sort of rent a wagon or rent an auto golem. Okay, Grant, you need to calm down. Thank you.
Just don't mind me. I'm going to be gifting some stuff.
You've met Grant.
Yeah, Grant, you were very generous. Right, so we see this wicker golem with their head aflame, female presenting, kind of seeing, sort of imagine a carnival booth, just sitting there, heads looking up like this, gazing longingly at these two auto golems who are sort of on sentry patrol, checking people's passes to get into the inner sphere around the Grass Colossus. Does not notice you. Okay, great.
And no, don't mind me. I'm
It's not
done.
gonna stop. You might as well
not.
get used to it.
Okay. So what do you all do? You all need a wagon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's negotiating?
Definitely not the me. I think it's probably still Umberta.
I think it's almost certainly Umberta because Fermi's good at science and not much else.
Umberta, can we get your negotiating help? I can stand there and look strong and stuff, but really, the glowing from UV radiation probably is not doing me any help.
Umberta speaks, yes, and pulls out lip balm and adds it and powders up a little, dries off her forehead, and gets ready for a little bit of negotiation.
Okay.
Wagon.
Yeah. Once again, this golem is not noticing you. It seems very distracted.
I'm gonna call out to it, and this is the female presenting wicker golem.
Yes.
I don't want to offend it, but
Yeah,
hey,
watch out.
gorgeous. Hey, gorgeous.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
It's
Okay.
Umberta. It's a wicker golem. It's beautiful.
You
You're
hear the
perfectly constructed.
you hear the conflagration of its hair, kind of like raise a little bit, and then goes back to its mellow burn, and says, "Yes, Rainbow Lander.
We're looking to buy a wagon, and I heard you were the best person to point out wagons to us."
It looks you over. Do you dress more as a scavenger by this point, or do you still have the sort of saffronge styles among you of those lands? It's trying to
I
read
dress-
you, so it's trying
I
to.
dress like a natural-born killer. I dress like someone that probably has set many wicker golems on fire. I know that doesn't work in my favor, but it might. And
Okay.
Not helping. Not
Right.
helping us, man.
I'm just being honest. If I took a look
No.
at me and I was a wicker golem, I'd probably shake a little in my boots. Try to satiate this, crazy-eyed devil woman.
Right. Okay. So it looks at you with its sort of blank expression. A formidable scavenger, you.
I worked hard to become so.
Yes. Are you looking to trade in your auto golem?
100%. Right, everyone. Can I get some validation?
Some
Approval?
support here.
My master offers very reasonable rates. Like very
Who's your
punctual.
master? I'd like to meet them.
You will deal with Varka.
I most certainly will. One does not simply
She does,
deal with
and like I feel like there's this awkward pause when then you and it slowly dawns on you that this golem is Varka, not its master. Like you would deal with it, and it's just sitting there.
Oh. All right.
Where is the golem? You must provide it for inspection before any payment.
Trade-in. Trade-in's an interesting series of words.
Yeah. I've never had very much luck trading in actual cars. And considering we don't have an auto golem to trade in, I'm especially unsure about this one.
I've seen the Muppet movie plenty of times. This is going to be one of those things where Sweet'em smacks a fly and we get like a discount price. It's going to be a steal. I think this is the wrong system for that.
Positive thinking. It's all about positive thinking.
Yeah. So I lean in close to the golem. I say, "What? The wicker golem?" And say our auto golem is coming back from the shop to make sure it's spick and span. Is there any, compromise that we can come to prior?
Roll charisma at disadvantage because you were being kind of rude to it earlier, and doesn't want to extend you a favor.
I wasn't being rude. I was being supportive and positive. Golem positive.
Oh.
Fine lines. Fine.
You gotta
Roll
remember.
disadvantage anyways. Charisma.
All right. Yeah. I was gonna say because I failed.
Right.
With disadvantage, I failed. But it's yeah.
Traveler, you're in violation of Code A, Article 7. Please provide the transport for inspection.
Guys, I'm a violator now.
You could.
Sweet talking occurs in Section 2, Article 4.
Isn't there an article about how we should get to be able to read the articles?
Oh,
That would require
okay.
a lawyer, and ours is dead.
That's true.
I'm only worse at this, but Fermi, I think, has had enough and just kind of steps in and says, there must be some misunderstanding. We do not have an auto golem to trade in. We are looking to buy some transportation. We're just tired of carrying our own things. Can you please just tell us where to do that?
Oh, why didn't this one... And it gets really close to your face. Umberta? Deceive me. As like there's like dark sound in its voice as it just echoes and reverberates. The fire in its hair turns like smoldering blue and black.
Saffron's tradition. My ways are not your ways.
I think Fermi does the same thing. Yeah, like, yes. Why was this one being dishonest? Like,
That's an excellent question.
Well, agreeable Rainbow Lander. Here. And you see her go underneath the counter, and you hear her like click a couple switches and pull a couple cranks, and sort of the back of this little stand. Imagine sort of like a carnival booth, sort of unfolds and envelops almost like a transformer behind it as it begins to sprawl out into this. There's no way it fit this stuff beforehand, right? All these gizmos and lights and a very nice showroom floor.
wow.
Imagine sort of like disco lighted tiles around, but spinning around gently off the ground using anti-grav magics are several different models of auto golems. And then you can see in the back, there's definitely a few, they call them manual wagons.
I think we stepped into the Tesla dealership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
please. And then all of a sudden, the last thing, as this whole thing unfurls and spreads, it just sounds like gizmos going off and whirring of electricity, almost like a little bit of a dial-up modem. So you get like that, and then all this general lights and expressions. A little bit of confetti goes off, and then the very last thing coming out from the booth, from her hands as she raises them, are 3 glasses of champagne.
The hard sell.
Oh man, having Windsock flashbacks.
Okay, have you bought an auto golem before? I've only dealt with manuals. I don't know how to drive an automatic.
I understand how they work, but no.
That clutch is sticky on it.
I like that.
Yeah, no. Fermi is not. He's never had that much money. I have 14 coins right now. That's probably about as much money as he's ever had in his life.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our budget may be limited. Maybe we could get an idea of the general price range.
They look you over. She's trying to analyze you for your ability to spend. She thought you might have had more money than you did, so now she's kind of re-examining all 3 of you. Do you want to try to deceive her and you should quickly shape up your posture and look like you're carrying more money?
I've got
No, I don't want to do that, but could I is it obvious to Fermi that we're being sized up right now?
Yes, that's what I was trying to declare. It's very obvious that she is figuring
as
out.
long as it's obvious to our characters. Fermi is going to let me just stop you there. You're not going to appreciate how much money we have, but there are other valuable things that we do have. Knowledge of the grasslands, secrets of the underpinnings that drive the forces that twist the landscape around us. You are looking at 3 explorers of the frontier of sentient knowledge. To reduce us to only our coin would be reductionist at best.
You definitely haven't bought a car before.
I mean, I tried the same thing at a car dealership, and this is why I had so much trouble with it trying in.
They're like, look, I have knowledge to trade with you.
This is why I drive a minivan now.
How much gold do you have exactly?
I'm not sure.
16?
I'm not sure if I want to talk about that.
No, this isn't her. This is me as a DM.
So that you're aware.
Yeah.
We have about 600 gold.
What?
Total?
Jeez! I wouldn't drive such a hard bargain if I knew we actually had cash.
That's why I wasn't telling people. Yeah, we could probably make some serious funds happen if we need to.
Right.
Got
Well,
some money.
um,
Got a magic sword.
Sage, I'm the one that's tracking it all, so.
Yeah.
Supernaturally,
I'm sitting here with my 14 coins yeah, we're just not going very far.
Sorry, go ahead, Eric.
supernaturally, she kind of was analyzing Fermi as they were saying, we don't have that much and all this, and she seems to stop halfway through, almost like she wasn't really listening to you in the first place. It's like, and it almost like a ding, like a toaster. Like she pops up, she goes, right, your budget is 600. And then all of a sudden you see all these little boxes begin to refold in. The shiny deluxe Cadillac hover wagon begins to fold away into some sort of strange space, leaving only a couple wagons. And the first thing she presents to you is a wheelbarrow. Down the line, you can see there's a wheelbarrow. You can see that there are some, on the other end, more of your standard solid wagons and coaches. And says, may I present you the latest model of Adventurer's Handcart. Ergonomic grips. Porcelain frame. Silver filigree. Stylish.
It is
secure.
stylish.
Emergency exits on all sides. Yeah. I mean,
One more. It's like imagine just like a simple Black & Decker wheelbarrow, just kind of on a display case where a Tesla would be. Only the music is kind of sad, just a little bit. It's nowhere near as nice as like the hover car displays. It's just very milquetoast.
Is there 3 like waters, like lukewarm waters?
Yeah, there totally is. Oh my god, that's amazing.
No.
Yeah.
There a hair in
And grandparent candy.
Yeah.
oh,
No one knows
Insult
where they
to
came from.
injury.
Yeah.
It's like
Werther's
8 years old.
Originals there.
Werther's,
Yeah.
Butterscotch.
So I mean, Fermi is just like surprised when she says that amount, and yeah, he's pretty much like, oh, I guess there's other things going on here, and it's up to you guys how you spend your money. Fermi's the new guy.
I'm not getting a hand cart for $600. That's not okay with me.
That's not okay with anyone.
Right? I'm not even sure if the carriage is okay for 600. I feel like we might do some odd job stuff and get us to at least a little bit of a safer place. Like the last cart that we had only lasted half a dozen sessions, so that's what I'm worried about. It's dropping a whole bunch of coin on something that's not going to last. So
A solid coach or wagon requires 2 draft animals.
yeah, that's the other thing I'm thinking.
And us without a donkey.
So it's
right.
yeah. I mean, we can kind of like speed through it if you want a little bit, but just try and kind of imagine the effect after the first wheelbarrow of like, nah, I don't really want that. Then we can just kind of buy stuff regularly. Right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It will be 700 for the solid coach and wagon and 2 mules.
And 2 mules.
Yeah.
Hold on a
And
second.
that's literally by the book prices.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
So we're probably just short of that.
Oh no.
We
I
have
was
the
in-
stone.
I was
that's
inclu-
called-
I've been doing logistics for this entire game, Sage.
You just said that we were at like 600.
I hold a few coins back here and there to make sure that we have enough for food, to make sure that we have enough for
What's that?
unforeseen expenses.
What's that app called? The one that saves your things and invests the quarters, whatever. Robin Hood.
Yeah.
All right.
I've got the caravan sheet here. So the caravan sheet, we have 210 gold and crystal that we grave robbed effectively. We have 425 gold in cash. I personally have 333 coins worth of jade, and then Amberta has an undisclosed amount of jade as well from when they were doing stuff. But I'm not going to pry.
No, I can tell you because we mentioned it publicly and I shared it. It was 165.
But if you were gonna go, just a bar on the side and drop a whole bunch of cash sometime, that's your business. I'm just trying to.
No amount of jade is going to bring back my son.
So yeah, we can certainly bring together, a larger resources roll, as it were.
Sure.
I just want to make sure that it's worth it. So
Yeah.
But if we don't have a wagon, we're not going very far. So I think that we could probably make that 700 go.
You could get
I think it's probably worth.
There are some other options.
Mm-hmm.
There's sort of the middle of the line, the Toyota Camry of wagons.
Tell me it's actually a Toyota Camry, but it's being pulled by horses.
Actually, I love that with the top sheared off.
Yeah.
It's just an open Camry with the top of the frame completely gone. That's actually not a bad idea. Yeah.
Times, man.
It smells bad, but it requires a
said it
single
was a
draft
Camry.
animal, and it will cost you $250. It carries 6 sacks in the trunk. A lot of trunk space.
The two animal one, how many sacks is that?
You can fit a lot of sacks
12.
in this car.
Let's go with the
Sacks
2
on
draft
sacks on
animal
sacks.
one. If I can make that decision for the group, 2 draft animal, and let's get on to more fun things.
Right. This is the
I know,
Dodge
I
Caravan.
love that part of the game.
I
I'm
know.
like,
This is like a
going
Mad
for
Max
hours.
Dodge Caravan getting pulled by 2 donkeys. You're just getting standard
So-
donkeys, right?
Yeah,
Just go
Adam,
to
which one are you going with?
we're gonna go 2 draft animals. There's been too
Okay.
many times where I've been worried about our sack
Are you cool?
size.
Are you cool if they're not donkeys this time?
I am cool with anything that is not going to
tapirs.
cause us trouble. Tapirs are amazing.
They're just tapirs. That's all. They're
Sounds
functionally
great.
donkeys. It's just I think a Dodge Caravan Mad Max with spikes and skulls getting pulled by tapirs seems more appropriate.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
All right,
Cool.
so we're gonna pay 700. Are we gonna do a haggle roll?
You totally
Or-
could haggle. You can try to haggle.
I feel like we effectively already did that and failed it a few minutes ago, so
Yeah, but this is the final sticker price.
that's very kind of you. Okay, I'm copying that over, actually.
Right.
So I'll do that final.
Well, let me
haggling
ask you
as
this
I'm-
question before you do that.
Yeah,
right?
talk to me.
So the consequences of failure here is obviously the missing taxes and fees, where you have to pay more.
I'm all for the Toyota no negotiation sales tactic. That's totally, as long as we're buying.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm fine taking, like, if we can afford what's already been quoted, I'd just go for it.
Okay, we're doing that.
Okay.
Say,
Sticker
nice.
price.
635 from there, and I will pay the balance. 65 for myself.
Awesome. And 2 tapirs. I'll let you or
amazing.
chat or somebody name the tapirs.
Chad has done much better at naming than I have.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I'm gonna make them do it.
Okay.
Uh,
There you go. You have a task, chat. If you would like to, Judd or Roger or anybody watching, let us know what you want the taper names to be.
We are back to slow movement,
Yes.
which is the best, aka not very much the
Yep.
best.
Remember, that's an extra D4 worth of days every time you travel.
Yeah, I've got an amazing sheet that some wonderful person made me.
Yeah, Lauren. We love you,
Yeah.
Lauren.
You, Lauren.
It is so good.
Judd's asking what a tapir is. It's hard to describe.
It's
something
kind of like a pig
So-
crossed with an elephant.
yeah,
Yeah, I was
or a
gonna
rhino, like a pig
Yeah.
rhino with an elephant
Pig.
snoot, like a little
Yeah.
tiny half snoot.
If you saw it, you'd recognize it and be like, it's one of those
Yeah.
abominations.
Yeah.
Eric, your paste was 600 cash, and your words verbally were 700 cash.
Right, because that requires the 2 draft animals,
Rockin'.
which are 50 apiece.
Cool. It's the cost 600 cash paren, animals included paren that was the confusing part to me.
Ah, well, I didn't see that part. Well, guess what? It's 700. I just copied and
Yeah.
pasted it, but that's fine.
I'll deal. That's fine.
That's not there. For
It's
for
the
parentheses.
tapers. Tapers are
tapers.
more expensive than normal draft animals.
It's the sport model.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you this, actually.
That
You
is
know what?
precisely
I'll tell you what. Let's do this. You're right. They are the sport model, and you're spending 700.
Or
You
tapers.
have advantage on the slow check, so you 2d4
Oh,
take the
nice.
lowest of the d4s
I will write
because you got the
to
sport model.
sport taper.
How's that? That's fair.
And-
That's where you're getting your money's worth. Or it could be included.
Guildenstern.
Oh yeah.
Rosencrantz and-
awesome.
Love it. And I think they're definitely these stripe tapers because they're racing stripes.
It's gotta be cherry
Only baby
red,
tapers that normally have them, but yeah.
or technically
I
evil
got it.
sun's red. I guess is the
Can we shave an R into one of their furs for like it's a racing taper?
Yeah.
Type R taper. The tapers are
No, they are type
They
R.
only
They're-
take
They're just
yeah. They take a special formula. Formula -1. It's the only thing they eat.
There's some additives.
Mm-hmm. They actually are like little IVs that go into them. The formula. It said it should last a while. It's probably fine.
rocking.
Right. Cool.
Advantage on.
Yeah. So there's
man.
there's no more celebrations going on. I know the last time we were there was a wedding. And the other thing I wanted to announce was that our previous guests who came back here are gone this time. They have, I imagine if you have looked for them or heard rumors of them, for example, for the Witch Wagon, you heard that the 3 of them took off for the moon facing forward. Specifically, you heard them they were going to the moon. Harold, the proselytizing god of money, cannot stop or cannot wait to stop, I should say, the end of the world, and apparently involves going to the moon. That's where you heard they were going.
So, like, the moon facing forward goes to the moon?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's towards the moon. Yeah.
Okay, great.
And I believe Amberta wanted to go there, if I remember. My memory is poor, but that's what I think.
That sounds right.
Yeah. So
There were other things here. Tracking down the leads to the black gold, which you heard is not quite in here, but further back, sort of to the trail of the Colossus. Giant vomes.
I can certainly
I feel
put
like
on.
we've lost too many people to Vomes already.
Yeah.
I can put on a couple of undercover masks again and go back to my black gold industrialist and try and get us a slowly burning cash flow. But the amount of time it's taking us to walk around, it feels like I'm not sure if that's going to make up for the cost it's going to be, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I feel like I'm all for heading to new and unusual locations. That's kind of Fermi's thing. So heading towards the moon facing forward, especially if that lines up with something that Umberta is interested in, works for me.
Sure.
Grant, you good?
Yeah, I want to say it wasn't so much that I was interested in it, but I told a story of how it was very significant. I think I had an ex-husband that used to live there.
Yeah, that's where your ex-husband's from.
Yeah.
Okay, then for the purpose...
That's probably the direction that I'm most interested in going in, just as a player, because like moving further along this weird map is kind of my preference, but...
Oh, hell yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Then we'll buy 12 sacks of food as well.
Okay. I was going to ask you, did you want to do any sort of trade speculations?
We should do something. I mean, ostensibly, that's kind of part of what we do.
You can put up your entire cash flow right now as trade speculation as you will.
Yeah. 14 coins and all that speculation.
I'm here for you. And
Actually,
Berta, you've got some cash.
I do. Yeah. I got 165. And I'm on brand. I just rubbed hot sauce in my eyes.
Oh, no! Oh, jeez.
So bad.
Don't you watch Hot Ones? You don't do that.
No, you don't. I forgot I had the residue. Do you remember when we first got on the call, Eric, and I had the hot bubble? Like, hold on, hot bubble chips. I just rubbed them like in my eyes hard, and I was like, wait, that was wrong.
It's not a good plan. It is not.
You just made a real life misfortune.
I've got money. How do we want to use it?
Yeah, what do you want to speculate on, Sage?
I don't really care on what. I just realized I'm definitely not speculating because I need that 14 coins to level up with.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but you're the wizard. Can't you see the future and figure out what to speculate on?
I mean, all my magic is water magic. Like, the water doesn't see the future.
I mean, I saw that scene in Lord of the Rings. You can see the future in water.
Oh.
Just make a really
you'd
hard
have a
pull.
terrible and whatever. I can't do the whole speech. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what's on sale here. Like, what are some of our options to invest in?
Right. So this is the part I wanted to ask. So the way market research works in this game, which we don't really see too much, is that if you spend a day, you learn about the value of a trade good in one adjacent space. If you spend a week here, which also means then spending some downtime and spending money to survive, you will learn about the price of trade goods in a chain of 3 adjacent linked spaces.
So, I mean, considering that I have my 1 XP so I can level up, I wouldn't mind spending some time here and doing that. And if we spent the entire week, we could research all the way to the moon facing forward and figure out what the best thing to take there is.
Sounds fine to me.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, cool. So the first one that you get is... Ooh, that's interesting.
Only a little worried.
Nope, it's a big old sack of light bones. And you
of what bones?
Like they are
light.
very heavy.
Bones
like
made
they
of light.
Give off light.
No, they give bones made of light.
Of glowing bone. Okay.
The bag explicitly says "Do not open," but you jiggle the bag around and it rattles like bones. but it's definitely glowing from inside.
Do not open glowing bones. Like I just imagine opening it like I don't know what I expected.
Right. It glows. It glows like the yeah, exactly, the Ark of the Covenant. The next one. So yeah. Let's see. Who wants the glow bones? Let's figure that out here. Ooh, nice. Ooh, double nice. Goria. Goria's a banker, currently stuck in Longridge, so out in the grasslands. I don't know what they're doing out in the grasslands right now. Oh, nope. Now I know why. Okay. So Goria is actually kicked out of the Grass Colossus. He's been exiled. He is a banker, and apparently he's sort of had some predatory loans to some of the Lime nomads, and they did not like that, and so they expelled him. Apparently he's a friendly, gregarious man, but he's been asking, pulling in favors, asking for people to give him some light bones.
I'm just adding these things to the map, so I hope that's okay.
Oh, perfect. I was taking notes on them. And that's Long Ridge. Cool.
I will move us over there and see if I can zoom in even more so you can kind of see that stuff. That'd be cool. Yeah, see? Goria, exiled banker, wants light bones. Light bones.
I'm trying to keep lots of notes on the map.
Yeah.
I love maps.
All right, so let's see. Number 2. Ooh, trail birds. So a bunch of guinea hens. Six guinea hens. They are the prized. Ooh. Yes. Okay. So there's a select breed of guinea hen that is allowed to range at the feet of the Colossus, and they're looking for someone to transport them to. Ooh, that's very interesting. Yes, a very well-revered monk by the name of Leonti Rudeni. I'll put it in chat.
Thank you.
You can totally do. You can totally spend time in town to learn more about who wants these things. But this is what I'm telling you. They are a practicing monk, or in fact, an ascetic. She. You don't know much about her, but she's very, very religious.
And needs guinea hens.
Yes.
Well, I've heard of stranger religions. Okay.
It makes sense. A religious thing. A very religious person needs religious birds.
Where is she?
Serpent Stone.
Okay.
Or around the stones, I should say.
Sure. I only have my 2 slots here, so that's what I'm using.
Mm-hmm. And then lastly, down in the moon-facing forward, in one of those huts, which I do not remember the names of them, I'm sorry, some dog's tail, which is a prized chewing root back in the Greenlands.
Mm-hmm. To who?
That is going to... Okay. What's a word for community leader?
I mean, that's a great word.
Yeah.
What's their function in the community? Like, do they just lead everybody?
No, they're not a religious leader. They're just an elder. Let's just say an elder.
Yeah.
I was gonna say one of my favorite is the term suzerain.
Ooh, yeah. Tell me what is this?
Yeah, I'll spell it for you.
What is a suzerain? I've heard that term before too, but I just don't
A
know what it means.
suzerain is it's kind of like an elder. It's kind of like they're not quite like landed gentry. They're they're not quite nobility, but it is definitely a term of respect for someone who commands
Right.
in the community.
Yeah, suzerain. Centena Iverdenti.
Suzerain Centena Iverdente.
You're gonna paste the suzerain in the chat as well, so that I don't.
Yeah, I'll put
Yeah,
it.
There we
already
go.
there.
Suzerain. Yes.
So yeah, I I don't know. I feel like we mostly do the dog's tail. Because like we're carrying enough supplies that we don't think we're gonna have to. There's not many chances to even resupply along the way.
Here are some things I should mention. The price that they're worth when you sell them. Granted, you roll well on the selling and buying tables here, but they're worth 200 cash. The guinea hens are worth 100 cash, and the dog's tail is also worth 100 cash.
So pick one, and if dog's tail is Fermi's thing, then let's take that.
Dog's tail is worth twice as much. It depends on how much we would buy it for, but that sure seems good.
Yeah. Who do you think is the most... it's got to be Vesh. Vesh, you're the most savvy. You're able to sell a blended scotch as a single malt. Can you make an intelligence check?
Sure.
This is sort of the marketing, like analyzing the routes, seeing the demand.
It was part of my years of training prepping for undercover.
Right. Sure. So an 11, a success. Awesome. So here's what you need to know. Which of those 3 goods does that person really need it? This is worth bonus experience if you deliver it.
Then let's pick moon facing forward, the suzerain.
Yep, they really need that dog's tail. Love it. I'm sure it's fine. I like that chat is definitely reading the same NPC stuff on the screen. So just enjoy some delicious knowledge.
So if you two want to do that, I'm also buying at least 10 bags of food. Can we get those at going rate?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just to...
Remember the warlock.
That's right.
Ah, friends.
What was that?
How does the revenge business treat you? Any new venging?
We're headed down to a ford to venge down there. But we're looking for 10 bags of food at that going rate that you had, if you don't mind. Now that we have a place to put it.
Please, don't let an old warlock get between you and your vengeance, but I would be careful. My back has been really itchy lately, and that usually means there's a terrible storm on the way.
Storms are the best times for vengeance.
Yes, but not in the travel, so you better make haste. Do you have an auto golem?
Not per se.
What does that mean?
That means
more auto, less golem.
like there immediately you can see from like underneath the robes, like there was one hand that's stroking a chin, then the other one strokes the chin, then it's like a third hand strokes the chin, and a fourth hand strokes, and then a little baby hand strokes the chin, like, and then goes back into the cows, like you don't see its hands again.
Yeah, we're, as Fermi says, we're more auto, less golem.
Oh my gosh, I'm just imagining this guy now as Master Pandemonium from Marvel Comics, the crazy warlock whose hands are babies.
It's a deep cut I do not know.
It is amazing.
That's Sage right there.
Put a picture in chat because he's amazing.
See, I was just thinking of it as 3 kids under a trench coat.
Yeah, 3 kids under a trench coat was kind of what I was going for.
I don't have any deep cuts, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
What was that going rate? I can't remember because I've got terrible memory.
The going rate?
For food
10
bags.
10.
Yeah, 10.
Sorry.
Okay. We have 10 bags.
Oh, Grant, you are too generous. Awesome. So there you go.
So
now you know.
If you folks want to buy some trade goods, I leave it to you.
Can I ask you a question here, Vesh? Just for some fiction here.
Yeah.
What does it look like when you analyze the trade routes, and why do you know that Centena, the suzerain Centena, really needs these goods so bad?
It's more of a kind of discussion and listening as we're walking around, especially to and from Mr. Vengeance.
Yeah.
Maybe Dr. Vengeance. And as we're going around, the number of people that mention the suzerain and the tones of voice that they mention their name in are a little bit more heightened and stuff. I feel like Leontes, the discussion around them is, oh yeah, this is kind of every few months we need to refill this run. It's very normal. They're all kind of a little bit bored with it. And Goria, nobody wants to deal with him. But they're like, if he's willing to pay us, then we'll hook him up.
Sure. Right. Okay.
That's the only reason they haven't left for that, because it's so close. But nobody wants to do it because nobody likes him.
It's true. Nobody does like him.
There you go.
Okay. Awesome. That's perfect. Kind of imagine a stock. Okay, so I totally imagine sort of like a stock exchange from like the old days. That's why you're getting these bids for things, and people are just shouting and screaming. And of course, you being well, actually, how do you feel about that stuff as a Vesh, as a dwarf, as this sort of like capitalist at the price of the buyer?
That's why Vesh is not involved. That's why Vesh doesn't want to have anything to do with buying the stuff.
It was Fermi. So Fermi was the one who got you the 3 of them.
Yeah, so I was like, here's the deal. Here's what we're gonna need. Here's what we're gonna. No, I know what the market looks like. But Fermi goes, oh, we should get that dog's tail plant, and I'm like, but then we'd have to deal with the market. I don't want to deal with the market. I just picked it up as we walked through. Can't help it. Part of the cover.
Oh, his hands are literal babies.
I know. When you get to the 4th hand or 3rd hand, I'm like, oh, it's just the other baby.
It just keeps going. It just gets recurrent. Do the babies have babies on their hands? No. No, okay.
Not yet, but I'm sure it's coming. Okay. Also, I don't know how you managed to paste the actual image. That's fantastic.
I will show you in a second.
He's a professional.
Okay. Yeah, that is my comics deep cut for the night.
But yeah, so Vesh picked it up, and while I came back, I'm buying food, and then I come back to the folks, and I'm like, okay, I've got all the food, and here's stuff that was going on as we're walking around, just kind of having general conversation.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, shouldn't we buy that thing so that person can get that stuff? And I'm like, but then you'd have to go into the market. Don't go into the market. Markets are stupid, and I can't dissuade them. They haven't had as much of the deep undercover kind of hammering on your head as I have.
Yeah. You've already... I imagine you're kind of exhausted after getting the wagon.
Oh, yeah. It's like I had to haggle with somebody to purchase something.
So it's like Fermi and Amberta were like the ones who entered the maelstrom of market time. Mm-hmm. I imagine sort of the best of a country style auction with the worst of the New York Stock Exchange, right? And so you're just seeing different bids of things going on. You're just trying to grab the stickers that are just flying around like confetti, and these are the ones that you get.
Somebody's doing the super fast auctioneer talking like bag of food.
Sold.
Thank you. I just imagine I know that the counting everything in sacks is just like our convenient shorthand for this being a game, but I just imagine everybody selling it too, like sack of food, like no description of what's in it, just like it's food, who cares.
It's commodities. Adventurers, fresh adventurers, $1, $2. Okay, cool. Are we ready to travel?
I think so.
As ready as we're gonna be, yes.
Awesome. All right, so then we see you all gearing up, saddling up to your new wagon. Does the wagon have a name? Anyone want to? I know I described as the Dodge Caravan, Mad Maxified, but what is it actually? And then we'll probably go to break and then pick up as we adventure.
What do you two think?
I'm actually, I love it being a specific make a car, and Dodge Caravan's as bad as anything. So yeah, works for me.
Plymouth Town and Country though. No.
Wasn't like Ironhide from the original Transformers like a Dodge Caravan? Could be that same kind of rusty red color.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Well, what color is the Caravan? That soccer mom green? That gold? You know that gold or bronze?
Oh, it's got to be the gold, the champagne gold.
Yeah, the champagne gold. Yeah.
A very 90s, early 2000s.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool. Just adorned with bits of, let's see. Ooh, yeah, it's got crystals. It's got crystals and several at the bulbs of the crystals. Some of them are in the shape of onions, and the other ones are in the shapes of skulls.
Nice.
It's part of the distributarian movement. It's fine. People, they thought it would be forever in style. Okay, cool. All right, champagne gold. Sorry. It's just, I can totally see it in my head. With these, these teal,
there we go.
These teal tourmaline crystals sticking out with skulls and onions on them. Yeah, being pulled by some tapirs.
It's a classic style. Yeah.
Classic, very classic, timeless. All right, yeah. With that, so don't go anywhere. We're back in about 5 minutes, y'all. See you on the outside of the break for more Ultraviolet Grasslands fun. Welcome back, everybody, to the second part of the Ultraviolet Grasslands, episode 11. We almost forgot. We have somebody who needs to level up.
Yeah. So Fermi has to share an experience to do that. I think he. So this is back in the Grass Colossus.
Yeah.
I think he tells everybody why he looks so weird. Like, I mean, there's plenty of strange people across the grassland, so it's easy to assume that this was just natural. But he actually goes into this story of his first research expedition and this like section of the grasslands made up of like a like negative mass matter that he was going to explore, and at the core of it there was this the source of this eruption in the grasslands. They were experimenting on it, and this core, as they like cast spells into it and try to manipulate the matter, just like rewrote reality around it. And now Fermi is not quite human anymore, but he's not quite anything else either. And now that is known as the demon core, and it's floating somewhere around the grasslands. And as he tells this story, he's got this kind of like haunted look on his face. It looks like something that he wanted to get off his chest, but also something that he doesn't really want to think about.
It's called the Demon Core?
The Demon Core. I'm drawing on actual nuclear science here. There is a real demon core that has killed people. But yeah.
It's my favorite type of rock. Demon
yeah.
Core.
So yeah, that's his story. The Demon Core. So yeah, while everybody else is doing some stuff, I'm gonna make some rolls.
Yes, this is to determine the prices and things of leveling up.
Oh yeah, first I've got to do that part. So I have to buy 1 round of drinks, which is a D6 roll. So I spend 3 coin, which I can afford to do that. And the side effect of that is fame. Wow, the people hearing this have this story spreads, I guess. Charisma tests have advantage for the remainder of the session. Oh, great, my 5 charisma. But yeah,
Hey.
Fermi's famous for his interactions with the Demon Core.
Nice. Oh, I like that a lot. I think the Demon Core is spiritually antagonistic to the Lime Nomads. Like they have stories about it or something like that. And so they think that you are touched. Right?
In a good way.
In a good way. Yeah, in a good way. Right?
Yeah.
Like you survived an encounter with it, and you know of its terrors, and so it's like, oh wow, you must be very strong.
Cool. I like it.
Roll up.
Yeah, I already did my HP there, and then I mean you guys can move along with stuff. I have to roll all my stats, then roll another one of them twice. So
okay. So then the next thing up is the supplies check as we travel through Long Ridge. Remember,
did they purchase Dog's Tail?
Oh,
I don't know if that actually happened.
I don't think we did the purchasing of the Dog's Tail.
Okay.
I don't think I can how much does the Dog's Tail cost here?
it costs 100.
And we can sell it for 200. So we turn a tidy profit. I have nowhere close to that much money. So unless somebody has some money,
It's
I don't know how
Amberta.
we're-
It'd be up to her.
Yeah.
Up to her.
I'm willing to go all in. Dogtail won't bring my son back. Eventually, it'll become a joke. Yeah, I'm willing to spend 100. I'm down 100, but I got the Dogtail.
Perfect. So Dogtail is a chewy plant substance. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Trying to think
Okay.
what it would look like.
I've
I
got
mean-
some ideas.
Yeah.
Like I've got some dogs. I got some tails.
Tails.
I've grown some plants. This is kind of a little wormy, little chewy.
Okay. All right. So we're traveling through the Long Ridge, right? Again, this is the land of the blood-sucking midges and the silvery and white ocean of grass, and just
A few of our
gently
favorite
rolling hills as far as the eye can see. It's probably the most boring part of the grasslands as far as like never seeing just horizon to horizon of just grass. Who is doing the misfortune?
I believe it's my turn,
I
unfortunately.
think it is.
That is how it goes. Here comes the charisma.
Ooh.
It's a failure. Awesome. So, you all take a stop at a restful grove with a beautiful spring. You all refresh and take part in the spring water. However, the spring water was contaminated with the effluvia of an ultra ghost. And all of a sudden, you all feel very sick, and you will lose 1 day and 1 sack of supplies in a hallucinated, just kind of bug, as the ghost matter just goes through you. Unless anybody has anything regarding ultras and like anti-ultra stuff, I think that's about it. Yeah.
I could cut the sickness out with
No.
my sword, but I don't think that's.
No, that's not a good idea. I would not recommend that. Yeah, so just not everybody loses 1 supply. Just as the party, you have to waste 1 supply.
See, I got 10. I had foreseen this problem, and now we have exactly 3 weeks left for our 3 people.
Perfect.
So-
Furthermore, can someone roll a 2d4 and take the lowest for the slowness of the wagon?
Mm-hmm.
A 1.
1.
Cool. So you're at 2 out of
Nice.
7.
Sounds okay to me. Awesome. And then 3 foods, 3 supplies, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
I assume you're all eating out of.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to eat something else, let me know, and I won't knock it down. But in general, I think that's kind of how we are. Rocking.
That makes perfect sense to me. And then, of course, the encounter. Cool. Right. So the things that knock you out of the haze is that far off in the distance, there is a black mass hopping through the grass, juxtaposing their hides against the grass, the silvery white glistening grass. I almost imagine it almost like tinsel sometimes, the way the light hits it.
Mm-hmm.
Just almost like an ocean of shimmering tinsel. Other times it's sort of like white and whistly snow. But this time it's the tinsel, and a herd of dark ghost gazelle gallop around, and their bleats are sort of the things that knock you out of their funk. This sort of cacophony of bleating in the distance, as you just see them sort of hopping through the grass, just almost like salmon going upstream through the grass. They're very far. They haven't noticed you. But like salmon, they're probably returning or going somewhere, and they probably don't want to be interrupted.
Let's not interrupt them.
We're going to end up needing an extra week of food at some point. So just something to keep your eyes out for. If this does not seem like the thing that you want, then we can keep going.
I mean, I'm not the meteor swarm kind of mage here. I'm not really sure we want to get into a fight with a herd of things.
That's true.
It's literally
Yeah.
a herd. Yeah. It's got to be score plus, right?
I mean, unless somebody has a good way to peel like one off the herd, I don't think.
I'm not sure if... I think we've eaten ghost gazelle before. I think so.
Maybe. I think we will watch
Probably
the
fine.
majestic creatures into the into the twilight.
Sure. Can they... All right, yeah, so you're all just going to be slow and kind of watch them around. And so I'll just... You're fine. I'll just add an extra day to the journey as effectively the slow going around them, avoiding the encounter. But the rest of the trip through the Long Ridge, again, that's literally the most exciting thing you've seen through the tinselly grass.
We'll take it.
What What do you all do to stave off the boredom?
Vesh is polishing the 2 black glass items he's got.
Fermi is doing like little strange experiments with what seems like just normal dirt, but occasionally as he like drops it from hand to hand, like some of it will like float back up to the hand he dropped it from, weird little things like that.
Nice. Little magic tricks.
Basically.
I'm mothering the dogtails plant as if it was my own child. They need a lot of love.
It's true. It's what keeps it fresh.
Yeah, they'll die on the journey.
Aw, actually very sweet.
It made me. I got the idea. I thought of my grandmother. She would always like we'd have plants that we wouldn't treat very well. She would come over and she would just like all the plants would like become mighty again. And she's like, you just gotta know how to take care of these things.
Does a bard have a green thumb?
I'm
totally cool if you do. Yeah. Okay.
So,
yeah, if you want to write that down and say like as part of your background, I'm totally cool with that because that's a very cool little fact.
yeah.
Awesome. So then we're going over to the Serpent Stone. There was no sign of Goria out here, but you weren't really looking for them.
Nope.
Cool. So then things go by. Once again, we travel through all of the waves and that are the hills of this tinsely grass. Again, not too much going on until we start beginning. Like literally, it's almost like an oasis. It's these tiny little dots, which are the serpent stones amongst this grass. I think from the top of the wagons at night, a few of you can see the sort of patches of the vampire grass that moves around occasionally. Off in the distance, it's never really a threat to you. It's avoiding you all, but you know that things that sleep on the floor, on the ground, are... Yeah. As well as you've... No one will believe you when you say that, if you told them this, but midges have avoided you for this part of the journey, which is amazing.
We'll take it.
Yeah. Okay.
Umberto or Fermi for the
Serpent Stone.
misfortune.
I think I should probably do misfortune because I actually have advantage on all my charisma checks for this session, so I might as well use it.
The favor of the Colossus.
That's with advantage?
That's with advantage. A 16.
Advantage.
That's a 16 everywhere.
And that's with my charisma having just gone up when I leveled up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So, we have it's okay actually. For this time, the misfortune is just harsh, stiff winds have been making progress slow. So that definitely colors the scene of the Serpent Stones as you all arrive. You're all sort of like buffeting. Imagine sort of like the strong gales of like the Highlands of Scotland, right? Just whipping your clothes and things around. The grass is just in a frenzy as the gales go by. You all are just kind of like bracing yourselves as you're moving on. So can I have with advantage the D4 rolls of time?
Mm-hmm.
Does the wind cancel out advantage?
No, it just will add another D4. So
Okay.
one more D4.
Without.
Yeah.
3.
Okay, so 4 total.
That finishes up a week of extra days.
Yes. So that would be 7 out of 7 days. So extra days go by. So now it's 2 weeks of supplies get chewed through by the Serpent Stones.
All right. Don't suppose anybody has showed up that wants to sell us food here.
Not around these markers, but do you want to go looking around for people? There might be other people around other markers. I mean,
team.
Leonti's around. You want to go look for them?
Yeah, an aesthetic who needs food probably. So we can forage or we can search. If we search, we'll probably, if we fail, need to forage more. And if we don't search, we're still going to need to forage at least Yeah, quite a few times, because when you forage, it takes forever. General thoughts and plans and ideas.
Is there typically different skills involved in each of those?
I think we've just described.
No,
it
it's usually the
everything
same.
foraging.
Yeah, but typically I let you forage for like the week because it's
Yeah.
usually fine. Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with foraging.
Yeah,
Mhm.
let's search here at the stone or at or around the stone. That way, if there's any useful treasure type stuff as well, we might be able to see that kind of stuff.
Okay. Right. So you all kind of fan out and look around for things. Again, I think it's going to be Amberta who's going to be the one who spots them.
Mm-hmm.
There's a cadre of, you would know them as. So we haven't really talked a lot about your background. But was your husband also a scavenger like you?
No.
Okay.
Well, in a sense, he was a
In a
hunter.
sense. Got me.
Well, he was a scavenger. He was actually more like a predator. He'd go out, hunt great beasts, kill them, sell the meat, sell the hides.
Nice. Yeah. What's a rule or a custom or an etiquette of the scavengers that if you would break it would land you in exile?
Stealing from another scavenger that's alive.
Scavenging from the
we're
living.
both if we're both scavenging. Yeah, if we're both scavenging, you scavenge, I scavenge. If I scavenge from the living, I would be exiled.
Cool. Are they given anything to denote them? Are they branded? Are they given sort of like clothes or something like that?
Yes. So what we do is we have wooden collars that we put around their necks.
Nice.
And
like a
a
stockade
lock.
looking thing?
Yep. So it's kind of like a board, and it has a heavy lock in the front, and the key they will have to spend the rest of their days scavenging for. But what they never tell them is there is no key.
Oh, that's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
That's amazing because that's exactly you see 4 of these types. So from not necessarily your tribe, but from your greater area. Here scavenging around in like you kind of find a good trail of maybe where some good supplies would be out here, and yes, you come across what seems to be the scavengers of some sort of broken down wagon. Looks many weeks ago. There's probably nothing left here that would be better than nothing. And looking around the wagon already are 4 quiet outcasts, clearly of the Saffronge types. Not necessarily, you don't know these people. But they're definitely of your greater kin. Large planks around them. All kind of looking around. They look like they've gone very pale out here.
They better.
Like the opposite of a suntan. Like you get paler.
I mean, I don't want to just scatter them off, but
Yeah.
they shouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm. You could probably just scatter it. Yeah. You know what I mean? You could shoo them off. This isn't like a killing or anything like that. They haven't really noticed you. They're too busy looking down and looking for any sort of things to eat. And
Yeah, I'm going to call out with a loud voice. Yeah, get.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Cool. Can you roll with advantage to like intimidate them? Do you think this is charisma or strength?
I think this is going to be strength. Particularly, I'm really just relying on my physical attributes.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right.
Fine.
They don't want to fight, but instead they turn around like one of them, like they're looking around and stuff, and you're like get and immediately they like startle like a cat, like they jump, and when one turns around, you see their face is very very pale. It looks like there's like tattoos or like the inside of them, like their skin is completely translucent, and you can see their veins that sort of like twist and turn like snakes inside of them, and they hiss at you and they run away. They leave whatever to be scavenged around here. Totally. Nicely
No
done.
keys in that cart.
You like.
Vermin.
I imagine the other two are around you, right? And you like put down like your gun or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like it's
Yeah.
like no keys in that cart. You like unload it and take out the shells or something. That
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I kind of look at my blades that I carry, and it's just kind of like they're not worth the steel or the wood.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you want to go down and look around?
100%.
Nice. Okay. So, regrettably, there are no sacks of supplies in here. However, there is something else around. You can see that it's been almost like eviscerated, but this is a machine butler. Very old-fashioned. The best way to think about it would be like the Bicentennial Man.
Wow, that is something I haven't thought of in a long time.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's basically completely busted up. It looks like it's just been like when the Incredible Hulk smashes something, like back and forth thing. Like it's like it happened to this thing, so it's just completely sprawled over, and like the wagon's been thrown on it. So clearly something great and big has been here, or came down from the sky and just like tore this wagon apart. And this butler, this old-fashioned etiquette butler, this etiquette droid has been obliterated. But there might be some salvageable parts on it.
I mean, having an auto butler sounds amazing. So just to be clear, not like any chance of getting this thing back in working order?
Oh, no,
Okay.
not here. No. If you took it, for example, the last Sarai, the deli, that's like the medical deli, might be able to do something. Like they might have the technology to do stuff in their little, what do you call the vats from Dune?
Oh,
The tick.
axolotl tanks or whatever.
Tilaxu tanks.
Tilaxu.
Yeah, axolotl
tanks
is
would be,
the
the ones that you throw
weapon.
really far.
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, the Tilaxu tanks.
Some of the same sounds in there. They both have X's in them somewhere.
I'm here for you, Sage. You know I'm here.
I mean, I didn't get to play Dune the last few times that Adam had it out, so I haven't had my refresher course. Yeah.
Right. So, So this thing is not beyond hope. So basically what I'm saying is that it's not beyond hopeless. It's just beyond hopeless right now in the middle of nowhere.
No,
I mean, we
that's
got
Need a
room in
workshop
the-
and time, and it'd be a
We
project.
got room in the cart if you want to drag it back to the cart, but I'm still kind of looking for food.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, I'm not that into
you know-
it.
Do you know when in Empire Strikes Back when they get C-3PO back? It's like that, like you just like a dump in the back of the truck in the van. It's just like a big, huge just container of just bits sticking out in all different odds and ends, right?
Yeah. Excuse me.
It's
Not
just,
worth hauling. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't passing up on a
Yeah.
sweet auto butler before we moved on.
No, for sure. Yeah.
no small animals or anything for hunting.
No, I think you're afraid the scavengers' outcasts have already scared them away,
Sure.
or at least that's what the theory is of Umberta's, right?
Mm-hmm.
So no food. No food here, but unless you want to go forage and stuff. If you want to forage, you can, but what I'm saying is there's no supplies around the cart here. So you want to spend a week looking around for stuff? Just camping out here?
I think so.
A week's
I think-
enough time to, like, attempt to get something here of this butler working, if somebody wants to spend their week downtime doing that.
I mean, I think we need the food more than we need a butler.
Y'all want to go forward instead?
How one person's only going to forage one sack of food, right? That's what we talked about. So-
Pretty much.
So if anybody, the big problem is
You
that
can-
we're going to spend a week.
If you roll well, you can get more.
You've seen us, Eric.
I know. Why do I even bring that up?
So the big deal is that we're probably going to be kind of spinning wheels here for a little while until we come across some kind of windfall, unless we decide to just push on and starve for a couple of weeks.
Well.
So do we spin for a while? What do you think? Umberta.
I'm willing to spin for a while.
I think we pretty much need to. Yeah.
All right, we stay here and forge.
All right, I'll be the one who asks it. Does anybody bring up maybe visiting Herodotus' gravesite?
For me, didn't know him. I've been thinking the same thing the entire time, but it felt kind of like not my thing to bring up.
Right.
I helped. No, go ahead, Vesh.
Vesh has written it down in the logs, and every time he skips over that log page. He's not ready to deal with it yet.
I know. Okay.
Umberta would probably be one of the first places she goes. She helped build that monument.
Awesome.
There's a good helmet that was sitting there.
Fuck, I love that. No, holy shit, I love that. So, like, after you bring the stuff back, the bicentennial droid, the etiquette droid thing back to the van and stuff, we see Umberta with, like, a gun or something slung on her shoulder. It's like, I paid a visit to Herodotus' grave today, Vesh.
Yeah.
You should really go out there. And, like, what do you say? Do you, like, say, like, I don't know? Or do you say, yeah, I should, like, but you're lying, Like, what do you... Because you haven't done it yet.
He's working on something in the back of the van. Like,
sure,
and
yeah.
he just deliberately makes it take a little bit longer and a little bit longer.
Yeah,
right, it's the van.
And I'm when you come to the top of Big Hill and you look down, there's a patch of grass. I swear it's the most beautiful spot in all the Ultraviolet Grasslands. You can look upon Herodotus, his remains.
In eternal sleep, huh?
Yeah, it's glorious.
Do you, okay. Well, I'm not going to let you get out of this here, Vesh. I love the idea that while you're foraging, you inadvertently come across Herodotus's grave.
Sure.
While you're doing it, do you go to it, or do you actually avoid it as you forage for the day?
He's curious.
Yeah.
Curious enough to try and forage around so that he can see if Herodotus is still sitting there.
Is it like one of those like subconscious things where like you're consciously trying not to scavenge there, and then you just like come around a stone and you're like, oh
yeah,
right.
And then you see the camera. The camera. You've got Vesh who's looking like he's hunting around, and the camera's focused like a near focus, and then it shifts focus, and behind Vesh is the rock and Herodotus.
Yeah,
with Vesh totally out of focus.
Yeah,
that kind of.
Yeah, with Umberta's shrine thing on it, the stacked stones, I think is what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the book. The book's still there.
And then it goes into infinite focus, so you can see both of them. And he turns his head around, and the music stops.
The Book of Grudges with no more grudges going into it. Oh,
yeah, just
one page of the Book of Grudges rips at that moment and just kind of blows away.
Through the grassland. Oh, damn, that's really good. Awesome.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So make a foraging check here. Technically, the book says survival. So by default, then it's like wisdom. But Vesh, you're crafty. I'll let you use intelligence.
I'll take it.
This is it could be a delicate task.
I mean, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to sneak up on some kind of meat that I can hunt, or I'm trying to pull roots out of the ground.
I was thinking it was roots.
So pull roots out of the ground so I'm not breaking it, because some of the roots in the Ultraviolet Grassland go really deep or are really fragile, and if you break the fragile part, then you get tiny little carrot or whatever at the top, and not the really good stuff that's down at the bottom.
You know what you're doing.
Oh yeah, you talk to Gene.
It's not
I know
his
how
first
to
rodeo.
I know how to weasel into as much advantage as I can.
Oh,
it doesn't even matter.
Okay. Was that with advantage?
That was with advantage.
Oh, yeah.
That was with advantage.
18.
Yep, an 18 and a 15.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you think that the ley line?
I
I think you're too close to the. I think these things you were picking up were too close to the ley lines, and so they're all just shriveled up and.
Yeah, my stupid subconscious.
Yeah, you can eat them, but they have no nutritional value.
Mm-hmm.
They're just nothing.
Too real.
They're basically carrots of MSG.
Tasty.
Yeah.
Where are the others going to forage?
Good question.
I think So the thing that I had prepared is revealing steam. I think I'm using that to forage with. I think potentially after Fermi has heard about Vesh's like luck with scavenging near the lines, I think I'm using revealing steam to like guide myself away from the lines. Like, I mean, I can't keep it going for too long, but I can like cast it, see if there's any lines passing through the steam, and then just kind of like move around a few feet or yards or whatever until I find a spot that there isn't anything, and that's where I start foraging to try to cut down on those effects. So
cast to see if you keep the spell.
Yep. Can go straight to my intelligence. Let's see.
Straight to your head.
Cool.
Right.
I still have the spell.
Mm-hmm.
Let me mark that.
Cool. Then can you make another spellcasting check with advantage? And this is sort of like your searching, right? This represents your actual search. Perfect.
Also a success.
That's a great success. More than doubled. You find some great big old tubers down here. In fact, you're able to grab, let's say, since you beat it by 2, you should probably get doubled. You find 2 sacks of supplies worth of carrots.
Cool. For now, Adam, I've got that on my own sheet. Let me know if you want that.
No, considering that that we're going to be just sitting for a while, might as well just keep it on your own sheet. Once we start moving, I'll take inventory again.
Okay.
Yeah. Umberta?
All right, so hear me out. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take both blades and I'm going to cut a very, very, very large circle through the grass and the high weeds and knock it down to get essentially what would be a fairly wide dirt trail with a massive grass, bushy circle center. And then I'm going to use my fire horn spell to set that grass in the middle on fire and spook out any wildlife. As it comes out, I'm going to kill it.
You're going to smoke it out.
I'm going to smoke the monster out.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Cast your fire horn.
Oh, jeez. Success.
Whew. So you keep it? Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely roll with advantage here as a little I'm not sure what they would be. Some sort of like mole like things crawl out from under the ground. Some sort of like groundhog mole.
And I was even thinking it might even be
kind
like
of thing.
Yeah,
a
exactly.
big swarm of snakes come slithering out, and I'm just gonna be like, yeah.
Snakes? Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
Let's do snakes instead. Snakes would be fun.
I'm gonna be like golf clubbing them.
Yeah.
All right. Success.
Oh, yeah. Okay. With a 12 compared to a 15, yeah, you're able to grab a big old handful of snakes. The problem is that like there's so many snakes came out that's just it's an impossible whack-a-mole situation, and they're all slithering so fast. You're just like get as many as I can, and you you hit as many as you can, and right.
What am I gonna do with all these snakes?
I can't. Like, how can I hold all these snakes?
Only I had a wheelbarrow.
Wheelbarrow full of snakes. That's a good name. I'm saving that name. I don't know what I call that, but that might just be a good name for a robot.
You know the Rednecks who did the old Cotton Eye Joe like remix song? That's Wheelbarrow Full of Snakes should be an album from them.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a good one.
There are so many weird facts about rednecks, but that's not a topic we're on.
Sorry.
Like the band, not just the concept.
Oh yeah. I'm here for you.
Not the ephemeral. Yeah.
All right.
So we got snakes, we got tubers, we got a pretty good stew. Sounds like.
Yeah, got some snakes.
Just lower them down your mouth and just pull the meat right off.
Snake tubers and some MSG carrots. It'd be great.
Gotta have something sweet in your stew.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So you all pull your stuff together and you spend a day, just eating what you grabbed. Let's see. Yeah, it's just a nice gentle moment between y'all.
So stew at twilight.
What are meals like in the three of you?
That is an excellent question.
Yeah.
Is it separate? Do you all eat separate? Do you kind of just eat together?
Gotta eat together. if
Who
you're
insists on
in a
that?
caravan. Vesh would, but
I think Fermi actually does as well. He has like very particular ideas of like it's good for people to have connections with each other, so we should do this. Like he doesn't necessarily
I've read
actually
the studies type of thing.
Yeah, people form better connections when they eat together. So I will eat with you.
Umberta insists on eating with others, and I apologize for interrupting her. Umberta insists on eating with others because it's important to always let them eat a little first to see if it kills them. And that's how she stayed alive so long.
Yeah, if anybody else is insisting, then Vesh won't say anything. But if nobody else insisted, then he would insist.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
We're all like ready to insist, and then we're like, oh wait.
So,
okay.
I love it. So I'm gonna harp on this a little bit though. Sorry, or harp on it.
Do it.
So you're all insist on eating together though, but is it just one of those things where everyone's just kind of quietly eating? Is it actually like a good I'm not saying we have to role play the conversation out, but like, does it seem like, as you guys are quietly eating and the music's playing over the show part, like you all are like having a good time and enjoying each other's company, or is it still kind of awkward?
I don't think it's
like, is
pretty
being
obvious.
here kind of near Herodotus's grave and the stones kind of awkward? You know what I mean? Like, is there any sort of kind of tension there, or is it just entirely just a fun time?
I feel like it ends up as small snippets of stories.
Sure.
Because we're asking about Fermi and what was he doing before he met up with us.
They.
Yeah, they. Trying to figure out how they were, tease as much information as we can out of their background. And every so often, a piece of their background will be like, oh, that reminds me of this time when... And then that leads to stories on that side.
Yeah, and I'm imagining it always starting out kind of awkward. Like, we all sit down to eat, and it starts out silent, and then somebody says like the one thing that gets everybody else talking somehow every time, that kind of thing. And then, after we've been on the road for a while, it's just kind of natural past that.
I'm going to roll a 20-sided die. Odds, Umberta's fairly laconic over meals. Even she's very gregarious. So she's normally stoic and never really talks much about anything unless she's told to go haggle with people. So it's just one of those things where I think she opens up a lot more about her personal life, her ex-husband, her sons, and she asks a lot of questions about people's upbringings and beliefs and professional professions. And so that's how that's going to go with her.
Yeah, it's really frustrating to Vesh because Vesh gets his the backgrounds confused, all the undercovers. And so it's like, well, is this the one that I'm actually, or is this one of the third level down, the fourth level of Inception down, that kind of thing. And
That's
so
right,
every
she's
so
not-
often my story isn't straight, and one of you catches some kind of inconsistency. And I'm trying with all my might to resolve it, but I can't because I can't figure out which ones.
I think Umberta believes there are multiple Veshes, because Vesh would never lie to her. It's kind of like, no, they're twins, they're triplets and quintuplets. They all look like.
That's why we go through the supplies so quick. That's exactly it.
That's awesome. Yeah. I hearken back to a little bit of what you were saying, Grant. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that, like, what was the deal with those scavengers or something, and you're like able to tell them, and it turns out that, like, and maybe that might have been like the starting point of where the conversation ends up going, like you said. But like,
the old plank necks, the old.
I love that. I'm
plank neck, lockjawed, no nothings, no good, scavenger scum. I don't know anything about them. No,
Plank necks is awesome.
Yeah, the old plank necks, and they try to scavenge off the living. And I want you to know that our kind would claw our way through blood and bone to find those plank necks and make sure they don't take a single thing off of anyone dead or alive. They are the scum of the Ultraviolet Grasslands, and every time we see one, we should run them off. They're thieves.
Love it. Okay.
Downer Umberta.
It's okay, Umberta. Okay. I guess then we carry on.
Well, we
on
carry here is what we do.
Yeah, so like I foraged 2 sacks of food, and Berta got 1. We basically go through eating all those just as like we move on again, right? Like we're about to cross those back off.
Yep.
Okay.
And the way that I remember it, it took us about a week to forage the food. Is that right, Eric?
Yes.
How are we gonna? We're gonna play it straight.
Mhm.
Then we're still at Serpentstone at that point, unless we can forage and walk, right? So
You can't forage and walk.
yeah. So then we should do full travel check, all that kind of weak stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That-
So Misfortune is on Berta this time.
Yeah. So you're heading to the moon facing forward.
well, I mean, but
don't
we
have to-
can't travel and eat.
I mean, you can.
We now
eat.
have no supplies, right?
Well,
So-
then you.
so- Go ahead, Eric.
It's going to take 2 weeks to go to the moon facing forward. How many supplies do you have now?
None, because we ate the 3 that we just foraged.
Okay,
So yeah,
You
if
will
it takes
definitely
a
not
week
make
to
it.
forage, then
No.
like at some point there's got to be a way to forage up more that.
Well, you
something more than
foraged
you-
rolling
more,
well.
right?
Yeah.
It's rolling.
We're gonna
well.
have to dig up Herodotus. I'm sorry, I didn't want to go there, but it's in the rules. We're not digging up Herodotus.
I mean, we can try it again. Like I have the spell. I can maybe manage to do it again, but everybody else has to succeed too.
So it is possible to travel and not eat. Like that's a thing that you can
Yes.
do if we just want to get to a destination and be in a terrible place when we get there. It also, like, if we hang out here for the next year and a half or whatever, probabilistically, we could potentially grow enough so that we would have 3 foods to move a week, and then we could do the same thing for another bit of a while. But that sounds like a terrible late night game of Black Hack and UVG. So let's not bother doing that. So the question is, do we move on starvation rations effectively, or do we hang out here and wait for something amazing to show up?
I almost feel like we have to do starvation rations at some point. Like we can't wait for the lucky roll.
All right, then we walk. We go, Eric.
Okay, on quarter rations.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Well-
that's a regular save.
Yeah.
So for the idea here,
Mhm.
if you wanted to go on half rations, then it's going to be a Constitution save at advantage. Quarter rations is a moderate save, so just Constitution save at straight dice, and then no supplies is Constitution at disadvantage to ward off hunger.
So
Failing means that you reduce your physical stats.
So say we have 2 weeks, we have 3 sacks. If we quarter ration, we can get all the way to moon facing on quarter ration. Which at least is not nothing.
Mhm.
Thoughts?
I should open up the map so everyone can see what's going on for
Tighten our belt.
watch.
Yeah.
That sounds like what we were all thinking, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Vesh is probably going to die on starvation rations, just so that people are aware.
How are you gonna die?
I have 4 Constitution Sage.
Heroes. Well, your con isn't the only thing that decreases. It doesn't actually tell you which stat gets decreased. So I let you get to do it. But just so everyone knows the consequences of what's at stake here when you starve. Heroes are starving. Your physical stats are reduced by 9, and your mental stats are reduced by 6. Heroes
What?
have disadvantage on all checks. Movement speed is slowed. If any stat reaches 0, the hero dies.
So note, if our movement is slowed for sure, then we probably won't actually make it there on quarter rations.
If you want,
Yeah, and I'll die because I have a mental stat that's a 6. So
so if
and
you-
actually
that's
a
only if you
physical
fail.
stat that's an 8.
That's only if you
This is
fail.
tough.
You've seen
So
us
it's
roll.
basically for my character, it's a 50-50 chance if I die on starvation rations. Whew.
Would
Okay.
you? I mean, would it be? Luca will give us the option in this part of the game. This isn't me being generous. That if you would actually starve, you could just roll to see how much your stats are reduced by, instead of the flat
D20?
9. No, 2d6 for physical and 1d6 for mental.
That would be better for mine. I mean,
I like that for each
I
step.
feel like we're pretty stuck here. I think we have to try it and let the dice fall where they may.
You can eat your tape bear.
You could, and I was thinking through
One
that.
of you could help pull the wagon.
Yeah.
The
Actually,
Rosencrantz or Guildenstern.
that's not too bad an idea.
If
Going-
we're gonna eat
going to
one of
Venice.
them, I have to eat both of them. They
Going to go-
tie
yeah.
together.
Going to talk to the Doge of Venice or whatever.
That's right.
The suzerain of the moon-facing fort.
Yeah, I
You
think eating them may be the better idea.
and dying? Then risk death?
They may be dying. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I'm cool with that. Yeah? Everybody cool?
As cool as it's gonna be, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't think you can kill both of... If you kill both Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, I don't know if the three of you have the strength to pull the wagon.
No, definitely not. And the
think-
the fun part here is effectively we should really just leave the cart here
That's what I was thinking.
and walk down to moon facing forward carrying the dogtail. Because it's only one sack, that's the only thing the cart has.
Could
No, it's got parts of a bicentennial man in
but,
it.
like we could drop that, right? That's not the important. We could leave it at the Serpent Stone and hope that it's still here when we get back, and just deal.
we take Rosencrantz and Guildenstern? Like, we can just lead them, right? We can put them on leashes, basically, and like just leave the cart. And I mean, we'll probably lose the cart, but at least we keep the animals. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah. And you throw
Can we-
the...
Can we ride the tapers then?
Uh,
I mean,
They're
it doesn't
not
seem
really-
to have any-
right?
that would require an animal handling check, I think, because they're not really supposed to be ridden.
Yeah.
They're
Uh,
very,
what I
they're very
recommend.
temperamental about riding. They're much better beasts of burden.
Okay.
I recommend taking wheels off our cart. It might not go wandering if we take its wheels.
Well, that's a good idea too.
Yeah, especially since it's in the middle of nowhere. People
I
just
like
be like,
it.
"Ah, it's a cart with nothing on it." I
So
guess we'll sleep inside it.
We could probably like strap the wheels onto Rosencrantz, have Guildenstern carry the bag of dogtail,
Mhm.
and then we all just walk into town.
That sounds like the plan to me.
Okay.
Eric?
So you're all out of supplies right now, though.
We have those 3 sacks. So this is where we rewinded back to
Oh, okay. So,
Right.
Right. So you have 3 sacks. This is going to take
So-
2 weeks to get there.
yeah. So if we do quarter supplies, 3 sacks would normally be enough for 1 week on full supplies.
Right.
Quarter supplies, it's enough for 2 weeks. Well, 4 weeks, but you know.
More than Yeah.
Well, we're gonna slow down
So why wouldn't...
Good
If you have
point.
3 sacks, why don't you do half rations?
because we're gonna slow down on half rations, right? If we fail anything, and then we'll be
Oh,
out of rations.
yeah. If you
Yeah,
fail...
logistics.
Okay.
Or if we come on, when we fail, we'll be- and we'll end up needing to eat. And I'd like to not lose our pets. If I die, you can feel free to eat Besh.
Okay.
He's on the list.
Right. All right. I'm cool with that. Is everybody cool with that? We know the
Yeah.
stakes.
Which one?
Yep.
Eating Besh or the general plan about how to move with the pigs?
General plan.
General plan, yes.
I'm cool with it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm up to roll.
For misfortune, yes.
Failure.
Oh, of
Bad
course.
one.
I'm not going to roll what the misfortune is because I know what it should be.
Do it.
It's the storm.
Of course it is.
Mm-hmm.
Felt it
It's
in the
the
bones.
You felt it in the bones. Should listen to the warlock. Of course it
It's
is.
just misfortune.
Oh my god. So it's it has to be as you get to this to the ford. You've been following a like gully towards the ford. Think of something like the savannah. where it's like a dried riverbed, which obviously is no longer dry as a flash flood comes through, and you all have to scramble. Yeah, here's what's going to happen. Here's how I'm going to do it. The flash flood. It's coming down. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are in the gully with you all. To get out of here is going to require probably strength checks to quickly climb out of here, right?
Mm-hmm.
To try to just brace yourself will be Constitution against the flood. But I will give you advantage if you all drop, like, if you just drop your packs and scramble out, and for each person who wants to drop whatever they're holding to basically just like nope and just scramble up, right? Just grab off any weight to get out of here before the flood comes. That's the deal with the misfortune. So thunder, lightning, the mud just becomes just absolutely just a wall of just dark brown water just coming towards you all. You have moments to react. Do you drop your packs and just hope to get out of there? Do you brave it? What do you all do?
I cast Warding Amber.
Yeah.
Put that bubble around us to try and push the water away.
Okay.
Nice. It's all muddy and brown from in a flash flood water.
Okay.
And that's close.
Okay. Yes. Can you make a roll here? For that?
Fail this roll.
Hold on. Before you roll.
Yeah.
I think I have to put this at disadvantage because of the strength of the flood.
Yeah.
And this spell is not like to cast the spell is going to require a lot of your things. I will offer you now the option to, rather than cast a disadvantage, accept a misfire. Kind of like what we did with Sage last session, where you push a spell to its limits, you can succeed, but there's the misfire.
Can you give me an idea?
Or you can roll a disadvantage. It's a D100. It's a D100 table.
Oh, I'll definitely take it.
And last time I got something completely inconsequential, if I remember correctly. Like I always know the direction to the stones.
Vesh already has 1 foot in the grave with our quarter rations, so I'm definitely taking the misfire.
Okay. All right. So then before you roll now, describe what this looks like as this torrent of muddy water comes at you. And what does the amber protection...
Sure.
Right.
So there's ripples of it coming out as Vesh pulls. He sets his stuff down and pulls out the oversized moon-shaped coin to kind of focus on, and he pulls with one hand Rosencrantz closer to him, and just kind of circles around. And there's these waves of amber energy going out as he circles around, and it just kind of pushes out.
Of course.
And as the water comes up next to it.
Amber is the color of your energy.
Yeah, exactly, right?
I'm done. Oh, that is... Oh.
Rainstorm.
I know.
I've got to tell you something.
That is so good.
Awful.
We didn't even plan that. That's so good. Yes. All right. So misfortune time.
Misfire time.
Or misfire, I say. Yeah.
Not yet.
The wrong kind of miss.
I mean, it might not be.
I already was right on the page. D100. It's page 44 of the book, if you wanted to know too. But
I don't.
Oh!
That's a fun number.
You rolled twice on the table.
Oh, I'm in.
50.
11 and 39.
Oh, 11. Yeah, 11 and 39. 11. You are stuck until a successful contest is made.
That seems okay.
Which makes perfect sense because
Absolutely.
as the amber waves pull up, you are just this stalwart thing of like ambers at your feet and like locks you in,
we
keeping
have
this
to
away.
finish singing the song, and that chorus just can continue.
I just looked at what 39 is. This is going to be great.
39 is an eye appears in the center of your head.
I'm fine with this.
Obviously, it's an amber eye.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
But
okay.
it's an amber gemstone, but it rotates to look at things. I'm not entirely in control of it.
Yo, you're not in control of it.
That's
do you want-
probably what I have to challenge.
Do you want to
get out
spend
of here.
points to get a relationship with it?
Going to be a sleazy, lazy eye at the end of a trunk. Kind of
with all this music going on, though, is his third eye blind,
Yes.
or is it? Okay.
I mean, is that how it's gonna be?
You don't know anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
oh,
30. Yeah.
Okay.
So that is amazing. So that is how you survive the flood. That is incredible, Vesh. That is so awesome. I feel like this is worth an experience point for you,
I will take it.
for sure. Right?
Survive the flood with my amber eye.
Yeah. Right. Oh, wow. That is so cool. I mean, this is like a you shout out pass kind of moment. Wow. I'm really impressed by that. It's really cool. Right. Horrible disaster zone avoided. So instead, you all
Nice.
just arrive kind of soaking wet into the moon facing forward.
we made it, guys.
That's only week 1, Eric. As much as I would love
Oh.
to take it.
You're absolutely right. Another one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Another.
And also, I think you all need to make checks, right?
You got it. Constitution checks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And disadvantage at quarter.
It is disadvantage. No, it's straight dice.
Okay.
So you can, if you have something that you could argue for advantage, I would accept it.
Success.
Do you have anything for advantage?
Um,
I've been eating the dogtails off the dogtail plant. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
If you want to eat the dogtails, it'd be fine.
are rations both food and water?
Yeah.
So to supplement my water, I've been drinking the drops of blood that are secreted from the cactus I carry.
You have a blood cactus?
Carmine cactus that secretes drops of blood. It was the random thing that I rolled.
Oh, nice. And the void
so-
egg.
The void egg was just a
Rip in
wizard's
peace.
thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my random starting item thing was this carmine cactus that secretes drops of blood.
I don't
I'm
think
not sure if that's enough for
you have to eat the
advantage,
cactus.
though. Oh, sure. I have no other use for this cat. I mean,
Yeah,
I as the player have no idea why I'm carrying this thing. Like,
Nah, just
it
eat
does
the,
not
just
seem
eat the
useful.
blood cactus. Just
Actually,
eat it.
cactuses are pretty good.
They're
So,
juicy. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, cooks up a nice little thing of nopalitos and takes advantage on this.
Yeah. No, I don't think you have to roll.
Oh, awesome.
I think it's sustenance for you.
Yeah,
Woohoo.
Vesh doesn't have anything, and besides, like this is the time. There we go.
Oh no.
Oh
So
no.
2d6 per stat. That's the deal.
It's 2d6 for physical, 1d6 for mental.
1d6 for each mental, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so let's just skip straight to Constitution.
because that's the danger one.
Yeah, here we go.
All right. So it's
I am -2 on Constitution.
Oh.
all right.
So Vesh starves to death on
Alright,
the way to the ford.
Let's talk about what this looks like.
Totally.
Is this like, do you give up the ghost? Is this like a slow thing? Does everybody know it? Do you hide it from the group?
The amber eye on my forehead, ever since it appeared, has been just kind of sucking life energy. And so I'm taking my quarter ration, but as I put it into my into my mouth, it just, you can tell that I'm not getting any sustenance from it. It's just all going into the amber in my forehead, and it grows every time I eat or drink something. It just kind of glows a little softly, and so we go to sleep at night, and there's just this amber glow in the middle of the campground.
So, is it possible if as we're going? No, I guess he's already rolled. I was gonna say, like, if he looks like he's wasting away,
Well,
I would go down to partial rations on my cactus to.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. But so you weren't really hiding it then, were you?
No, but like I feel like even if I was given, I would probably refuse cactus rations. I'm feeling all of this energy being yanked into the amber artifact, and I know it's just gonna steal it all from me.
I think we need to play out this scene and
Right.
see, kind of, have that conversation. It's hard. I mean, I'm being honest. Humberto would probably tie a string to you and kind of use you to bait larger animals. But
Yeah.
she feels bad. She's going to bury her sword with you.
But now you'll have some more rations, so you're in a much better situation.
Yeah,
No,
Fermi
we're not
doesn't think
even-
that way. So like, I think if we have this conversation, as Fermi, like, I'm sure that at some point Fermi tries to give you like half the cactus, which would, I guess, put him back on the half, however that works out.
I
Try
have
to
a
get
I have a bite of it, and it just kind of it melts on my tongue. Like you see it doesn't even get to my throat.
But like you're denying me any way to help you. Like you're writing in fiction that it means that we can't help you at all. You're consigning your character to death.
Well, because I rolled already.
I know.
feels-
Well, it's not like you die instant. I mean, I don't want to play the game where you necessarily die instantly, but you have a death sentence.
Well, yeah, and
That you-
and, like
You can still make it to the moon facing forward, right? But it's just like you're going to perish. Like you're just, you know what I mean? Does that make
Yeah.
sense? If you wanted to do something like that where you're the living dead for a moment, you know, like you could totally do that. Like you've got to fulfill that quest, you know?
I mean, that is a fair point. We committed to this, so I was playing to try to save him, and you're right. That probably isn't on the table because we committed. We made the rolls.
I was gonna say we're probably like a day from the ford, and we go to wake up Vesh in the morning, and he's just only the third eye's open, and it's the only sign of any life.
The other half
Right?
of this is like I did tell you that this is almost certainly going to be the death of me. So you did have moments where you could have done stuff, right? Like you knew that I was dying.
I should have given you the
Maybe it won't
cactus
happen.
because I would have been likely more possible to survive. But yeah, too late now. Should have thought of that before I ate my cactus.
And besides, like I am totally aware that Herodotus would absolutely have given me part of a cactus. Fermi though, like Fermi might just think that I was just having a bad time. So
Right. Well, here's another ending that I'd be willing to offer. Vesh doesn't have to necessarily waste away from starvation. Vesh could easily have been like, this is the part where you give up adventuring, and you're like, I'm fucking done. I'm either staying here or I'm gonna go retire back with Vesh, you know, and you just become an NPC, and you're not leaving. You give up the life of an adventurer too.
So then the way that would play out in my head is that about a week in to the trip from Serpentstone, I stop. I realize that's not going to go anywhere, and I need to basically just kind of sit and figure out this artifact thing. And I know that if you two sit, you're never going to get anywhere. So I send you further, and I basically hang out with my black glass.
You White Fang, your
rifle.
friends.
Yeah. Go off into the middle and, you know, do my own foraging for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Hold on.
Play on that.
Hold on, let's play on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're like, yeah, you just kind of like, you're using your gun as kind of like the crutch until you like find some shade of underneath like one of the only like cacti, you know, dead cacti out here on these grasslands. And it's just raining, you know, and it's dark, and it's just these streaks of that of bright violet lightning. And yeah, and you're just like, go, leave me. You know? No, I'm gonna only slow you down. Like, you know, that.
I hand them my huge amount of jade out of some weird corner pocket of my backpack. I give Amberta the synthetic skin backpack that's just full of the water of life that I've been carrying around.
You drink the water of life?
I refuse to drink the water of life. It's Amberta's plague cure.
Yeah.
It was wrong.
True.
But I keep my oversized moon-shaped coin. That's not going to go to anybody.
You have like all of Lochloin's odds and ends that he kept giving you that you pass on to us.
I have 6 more coins that are Lochloin's coins, and they are not going anywhere. But you can have the 268 coins worth of jade. That's fine.
Okay.
See, didn't he have like that green brick that he gave you and like
The crab?
Green Brick got sold.
Oh wow!
The glow
It got
crab?
sold to help him out, I think.
What about the
Oh,
crab?
the crab never came back. That
Crab
crab
never
stayed
came
with
back,
his dead
yeah.
body.
He's till death till you part.
No, but the 6 coins were part of the investment fund, and I was looking for a good place to put that.
Do you so Adam, from DM to player here,
Yeah, totally.
is this like are you done with Vesh then after this, or do you want to see if we can get you revived next session in the moon facing forward?
I would much rather play a new character and have Vesh NPC. I feel like Vesh ends up kind of old man wizardy type thing as he learns to deal with the artifact, because I think that the artifact will just occasionally cast amber spells without him having any control over it whatsoever. So kind of monsterish out in the wilds for a while.
Right.
People are like, there's this crazy thing out there, and every so often there's amber lightning coming down from the sky, and we don't know what's going on.
Right. Oh my God, Grant, you are a genius. What if you have like, as part of the epilogue? I love that. I love that you are sort of like a guide of the Serpent Stones. Like there's an Amber Stone now.
Yeah.
And it's like it's becoming part of it, and you're just part of the Serpent Stone area now, and that's really cool actually. That's a nice epilogue. Yeah.
I like it.
Oh yeah.
It's a good moment for it too. I feel like it's a good part of that.
Grant, the godlike brain of Grant here also mentions the kind of irony that you are afraid to see Herodotus, and now you spend your lives kind of around him.
Yeah, I was tied to it, and so as I move away,
The galaxy brain, Grant.
Mhm.
Amazing. I didn't even think of that, and so good.
Okay, I'm gonna update the map. Is what I'm gonna do.
And all it took was rubbing hot sauce in my eye tonight.
That's the trick, everybody. Don't read the DM's guide. Just rub hot sauce in your eyes. That's the trick for gaming. This has been... Yeah, we got to wrap up now, so we'll pick up with the moon facing forward. That is absolutely amazing. I like how this game sometimes offers you cool ends. I mean, it's not when you die when you're asleep in the middle of a Serpent Stone stuff, but out in the middle of nowhere. I like that. I like the idea that death can also mean you're just no longer a PC.
Absolutely.
That this is where you give up. It's too hard, and you give up. That's
So
awesome.
good.
Yeah, and then so goes the last of the original party.
Wow.
Brutal. I love this game. This is super good, and that is stubborn. Go, leave me. Lightning crashes. Go. No,
Got it. You
Perfect.
Got it.
okay. Yeah. Well then, let's do some outros. Adam, take it away.
I'm Adam, formerly of Vesh. I put Vesh of the Amber on the map at the Serpent Stone because I'll take that title and I'm very happy with it. I'm going to be at Go Play Northwest this weekend. If you're at Go Play Northwest, please come say hi. Also say hi to Eric. I'm almost sure that he will be there. Unless something crazy. Although Sage will not be there, so give him a hard time.
As everyone keeps reminding me.
And yeah, that's the kind of stuff that's going on with me. How about you, Sage?
I'm Sage. You can find me on Twitter, Old Fortran with an E and an underscore. I will not be at Go Play, but I will be at Gen Con this year. So come find me and Adam, and I think I saw on Twitter maybe Grant as well will be around Gen Con. So yeah, you can find us there. Otherwise on Twitter, bringing you the good polearm humor as I did this morning. How about you, Grant?
Hey everybody, my name's Grant. I'm an independent content creator for tabletop role-playing games. I'm the Twitch producer for WebDM Show's Twitch channel. I will be at Gen Con. I will be assisting with the TPK tournament put on by 2C Gaming. If you're interested in their line of TPK products, I was a contributing author on The Bestiary, as well as the Handbook Volume 2. I do some game design work for Monty Cook Games as well. They had a new book released called The Essence of Invisible Sun, which is a collection of essays by artists, philosophers, etc. About surrealism in gaming. And I was one of the featured authors on that out of 12. And yeah, you can catch me on Twitter at WisePapaGrant for all my going-ons.
I want that.
Sure.
I want to read that essay. That sounds awesome.
It's oof. Mine's intense academia.
Yeah. I keep going back to Invisible Sun, right? I keep thinking about it, and like I think I really like that game. I think there's a space in that game where I don't know, like that's a game you can go really hard on and it would reward you. Like in a game in a way that not many games can, like Burning Wheel can, in a game where it gives back what you invest into it. In other words, not all the games do that. That's definitely a game that does that.
Yeah, I need to give it a try again. Like I bounced off it pretty hard the first time, but
I'll bring it to Gen Con. I'll run some stuff for y'all.
Yeah.
Because I may have
that'd
run
be
it
awesome,
more than
Grant.
anyone else on the planet.
Well,
Maybe
there you
Monty
go.
Cook.
Well, yeah, there you go. Yeah, maybe I would love if you all do that. I would love to hear how it goes at Gen Con. Yeah. Anyways, I'm Eric. I'm EricVulgaris. This is my channel. Grant, thank you so much for all your gift subscribing tonight. It's not necessary. It's very nice.
Yeah, it's fun to do.
I do this out of the fun and kindness of my heart, not like a job or anything like that. I just like playing weird games and sharing it with my friends, and hopefully getting you all to want to play these weird games too. You can find me at EricVulgaris everywhere. I've been spending a lot of my time these days working Roll20, getting that OR report ready for everybody, which we're bringing back, which is the publishing report that shows you the percentages of all the games that people are playing and all that kind of stuff. And I've been writing up the findings there. That'll be available soon. Yeah, so that's been taking a lot of my time. I've been playing a lot of board games lately. Adam's been super nice. I got addicted to Root. Root is a super cool game. So I'm super excited for that. And yeah, I keep thinking I wish I had more time for other streams, because I've been playing a lot of Crusader Kings 2, and I think streaming that game for some people would be cool. But yeah, anyways, Ultraviolet Grasslands on the brain, and Pendragon-y type stuff, Crusader Kings intrigue type things. Adam's working on a game about it. That's just been in my mind a lot of design thoughts about the domain, legacy, lineage role-playing game, and what that could look like in a way that's not like necessarily microscope, but also more than one character. And that kind of stuff has just been super. The Sword Crown, Incredible Power, Unspeakable Power.
So are you saying you're going to stream the
Undying.
Great Pendragon campaign? Like, I want somebody to do that. Like,
I'm in.
I was in one that got up to the Anarchy period, and I would absolutely run that game. I would absolutely run that game.
Well, I guess I know what we're doing after we make it all the way through the Ultraviolet Grasslands.
Yeah. Oh no, then we go into the Mad Max and we play the Ultraviolet Gaslands.
Oh, that's what happens when we get an auto golem.
Yeah, then it becomes the Ultraviolet Gaslands. No, yeah. Anyways, yes, the Pendragon campaign is something that I absolutely like. It's that English. I don't know. It's. I'm craving it. Something fierce. So we'll have to talk about and figure out some things afterwards too. But yeah. Anyways, Ultraviolet Grasslands every Tuesdays, 8 to 10ish. We come back like the tighter sessions for this stuff. Yeah, go play Northwest this weekend. So we should be on for this coming week, and yeah, we'll just keep playing as long as there's spaces to explore. So thank you all so much. Rest in peace, Vesh, and we'll see you on the other side, Rainbow Landers. Bye.